all my problems are solved. Or not. Darren McCaffrey, our political editor, joins me now live from Downing Street. Darren, 3 priorities there. How have they gone down?
Well, frankly, actually, I'm just going to stop for 1 second because we've got a car pulling up just outside. I think this might be the first, Michelle, of the cabinet appointees. Let's see who gets out. It is a pretty miserable afternoon here in Downing Street. And then again, as always with live television, maybe no one's going to get out. We thought that might be the first cabinet arrival, but maybe not. What do I make of Liz Truss' speech? I thought in many regards she touched upon these things that we thought. Oh, here we go. Quasi-quartine. Are you looking forward to being Chancellor? There you go. There is the first of what we expect is quite a few new cabinet ministers, Michelle, going into number 10 tonight, Quasi-Quartine, who had up until now been the business secretary. He is expected to be the new Chancellor of the Exchequer in Liz Truss' government, and my word, he is going to have a pretty big task on his hands in the sense that he's going to have to steer what Liz Truss talked about, trying to provide economic growth to the economy at a time in which the Bank of England fear that we could be in a rather prolonged recession, and at the same time also try and deal with the consequences of those rising energy prices, of which we're expecting an announcement this coming Thursday. In terms of a speech, it did recognise many of those difficulties, didn't it, Michelle, that the country is not in a great state at the moment, and that things do need to change, particularly on those 3 key priorities of the economy, energy prices and the NHS. But it's also quite a sombre speech in some regards. Yes, it's a note of optimism that Britain could get through all of this, but none of the flowery language or indeed references to Roman senators that we had from the previous incumbent of Boris Johnson earlier on today. And I think that's a sign of what we're likely to see in the days, weeks and months to come. A more sober Prime Minister, someone who is not necessarily going to be as charismatic as the one we've just had, but that is who Liz Truss frankly is. In terms of what's going to happen now, well, we're getting the cabinet into position. We know who's not going to be in it because several of them have revealed in the last couple of minutes that they're not expecting to serve in government. People like Dominic Raab, who had been Deputy Prime Minister, Grant Shapps, who had been Transport Secretary, Steve Barclay, who had been Health Secretary, they're all returning to the backbenches. But it looks like we're going to at least get our first appointment in the next couple of minutes. Quasi-Quartine there, the new Chancellor of the Exchequer, almost certainly entering Downing Street to be appointed into that position.